I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started with the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you get educated about the show, well, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt and all the different gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Socks, throw pillows, wall art makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. The easiest way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on Threads and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook and X. We'd appreciate whatever it is your preference of platform. If you would join us right there, help us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. That also would go a long way to helping the show. That's where you can find the podcast this season. So we'd very much appreciate it if you would turn on those notifications, subscribe to the channel, and pass those links around to the other Renegades in your life, building this operation one renegade at a time. So please jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. If you'd like to support the show, we got a virtual tip jar. It's right over there on the desk. You can see it. It's got the QR code on it. You can scan it at any time. If we're getting going on a good rant, we say something you like, or perhaps you want to cover our fees in the swear jar, go ahead and drop a dollar in over there at the virtual tip jar for the Renegades of Puck. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this operation. So stick taps, love, and respect to everybody who's taken a moment and sent a dollar over. We appreciate that very much. Now listen, I know it's time for No Half Step Hockey coverage. So let me get to the goods. It's time for operation number 924. That's right. It is time for show number 924. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 8th place in the Central Division after 13 games skated this season. Record of 4-8-1 sees the Predators still in single-digit points at only 15 points behind the Winnipeg Jets for first place now in the Central Division on the road, which is where the Predators' next game will take place against the Florida Panthers. Their record of 1-2-1, 31 goals for on the season overall, 44 goals against overall, a goal differential of -13 overall. We'll talk about the Panthers. We'll talk about the Preds. We'll do both of those coming up after we update you on the Central Division standings. The Winnipeg Jets are still currently in first place, 13 games skated, 12-1 record, 24 points. They now hold a 6-point lead over second place Minnesota, and then a 10-point lead over third place Dallas and fourth place St. Louis. So the Winnipeg Jets off to one of the best starts in the entirety of the NHL. The Utah Hockey Club's in 5th place in Central Division at 13 points. Colorado Avalanche have 12. Chicago Blackhawks are in 7th place with 11 points. And the Nashville Predators, again, in 8th and last place with just 9 points. Now, once the Predators are done with this second night of back-to-backs, last night Washington, tonight in Florida, Saturday home against the Utah Hockey Club. But that's just a one-night stand because the Preds are off on their CMA road trip starting on Monday in Colorado, Thursday at Edmonton, Friday at Calgary, and then on the 17th at the Vancouver Canucks. So a make-or-break road trip coming up for this Nashville Predators team. On the 25th of February 2025, that's when the Nashville Predators will have their second game of the season against the Florida Panthers. That will take place at Bridgestone Arena. So a 2-game series. Game 1 tonight, Game 2 February the 25th. Now, this Florida Panthers team is off to a great start this season. They're 9-3-1 overall. They have 19 points. That's first in the Atlantic Division. On home ice, quite well. 3-1-1 is their home record. 48 goals for. Nice big number there. 41 goals against, plus 7 is their goal differential. If we take a look at their most recent stretch of action, we see a lot of winning on the board is what we see. The 24th of October is a 3-1 win at the New York Rangers. The 26th of October saw a 6-3 win at the New York Islanders. Follow that up with the New York sweep with a 5-2 win at the Buffalo Sabres on the 28th of October. On the 1st of November, it was a 6-4 win versus Dallas on home ice, and then on the 2nd, a 4-2 win versus Dallas. That's right, back-to-back nights hosting the Dallas Stars and beating the Dallas Stars easily both of those nights. The most recent game, the 4-2 final against Dallas, Knight got the start, picked up the victory, 23 out of 25 in net. Now, before we talk about the NHL rankings in this matchup between the Predators and the Panthers, let's update you quickly on the injury situation with the this Nashville Predators team. Tommy Novak, a late scratch after warm-ups just before the start of the Washington Capitals game, is now listed as day-to-day. Colton Sissons left the game after blocking a shot. Everybody saw that on the broadcast. He is also listed at this moment as day-to-day, but the Colton Sissons one worries me more because we did all see it, and Colton Sissons is a gamer out there. So for him to come out of the lineup and to be day-to-day, I would think there's something really wrong with that hand-wrist area. The NHL ranks and numbers between these two teams, the Nashville Predators and the Florida Panthers. Well, the Panthers are going to lead in most of these statistical metrics. 3.69 goals for per game is sixth best in the National Hockey League. The Predators are at 2.38. That is 29th. Quite the opposite. In the goals against category, the Predators' 3.38 given up per game is 26th in the league, while the Panthers are giving up 3.15, which is still a high number, but still 9 spots ahead of the Predators at 17th in the NHL. In the shots for category, Predators have been pretty good in this category all season long. 32.8 is now third best in the NHL, while the Florida Panthers are at 29.5. That is 16th in the league. Shots against, the Panthers, the same exact ranking of 16th, 28.8 shots against per game. The Predators giving up 29 per game. That is 19th in the league. In the special teams, 2 pretty decent power plays, top half of the league. The Florida Panthers are in the top 10. 25.7% conversion rate. That's 7th best in the league. 9 out of 35. The Nashville Predators are 20.9% conversion rate. They're 13th best in the league. They also have 9 conversions on the power play this season, but on 43 opportunities. The Predators' penalty kill has jumped back up into first with their most recent performance. 93.2% kill rate is best overall in the NHL, only giving up 3 power play goals against this season. The Florida Panthers are at 86.8%, which is a very good penalty kill rate. They are 5th best in the NHL. They have only given up 5 power play goals against on the season. When it comes to the individual scoring leaders for each of these teams, we always like to give you the top 5 scorers. So let's talk about Philip Forsberg for the Nashville Predators, leading the Nashville Predators. 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points, but now falling well off the point per game pace. Philip Forsberg is in a bit of a slump, as well as the whole Nashville Predators offense, and Ryan O'Reilly has been able to catch up to him at 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists. So Forsberg and O'Reilly co-team leaders at 10 points. Then you'll find Gus Nyquist, 4 goals and 3 assists for 7 points. Marchessault, 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points. And the captain, Romeos, he's at 1 and 6 for 7 as well. On the Florida Panthers side of things, the top 5 scorers the top 3 scorers would all be the Nashville Predators' leading scorer, and it is impressive to see what they've done so far. Reinhart, 10 goals, 11 assists, 21 points on this early part of the season. Bennett is at 8 goals and 5 assists for 13 points. Lundell, 6 and 7 for 13. Forsling, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. And Kachuk, 3 and 5 for 8. Anticipated goaltender matchup in this game sees Sergei Bobrovsky, 6-2-1 record, 3.08 goals against, averaging 8.92. Save percentage against UC Saros, 3-7-1, 2.85 goals against, average 904 save percentage with a shutout. That's Saros' updated stats after last night's Washington Capitals game. Wedgwood should get the start in net for the Nashville Predators on the second night of back-to-backs. That's going to do it for the preview. You're all set now for the Nashville Predators heading on into the Florida Panthers. And then the Nashville Predators will be heading on home for a game Saturday night. Quick 2-game road trip back-to-back, less than 24 hours with this entire road trip. So the Nashville Predators have 2 huge points that are going to be very difficult to try to obtain against the Florida Panthers. All right, let's get to the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Let's go back to Washington and find out what happened with the Preds and the Caps just last night.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back November the 6th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Washington to face off against the Capitals. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines of defensemen in the following combinations, and there had to be a last-minute change after warm-ups. Tommy Novak had to be scratched, so Luke Evangelista gets plugged into the lineup, and here are your lines. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Stamkos make up your new first line. Marchessault, Sissons, and Nyquist. Sissons moving up from the third line to the second line. Parsonen, Tomasino, and Evangelista. Then LaRue, McCarron, and Smith. Your defense pairing are Shea and Yossi, Luzon and Carey, Delgado and Shen. UC Saros gets the start on the road. 46 seconds into the first period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Protas. The first shot on goal of the game at the 55-second mark. It's Thompson coming up with a save on Jonathan March. So that's the Predators' first shot on goal. 2:06 of the first period, it's Thompson coming up with a save on Shen at the 3:12 mark. The first period, it's Parsonen coming up with his first goal of the season. It was a low slot tip of Tomasino's shot. Again, Tomasino getting into the lineup after not being in for some time. Parsonen recently getting a chance to be back in the lineup, and Evangelista out there on the part of this line. So this good young line breaking through for the Nashville Predators first. Parsonen's first of the season, a great deflection there in the low slot area. The Predators lead the Capitals 1-0, but just seconds later, 4:26 of the first, McMichael picks up his 8th goal of the season. Was a rebound putback. He was left all alone in front, part of the defensive lapses we've seen from the Predators so far throughout this entire season. And McMichael picks up his 8th tying the game at 1 apiece. 6:44 of the first period, still Gaizo going off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Saros comes up with a save on Ovechkin. Saros then also comes with a save on Mangiapane, and that would be it for the power play for the Capitals. At the 9:54 mark of the first, it's Saros coming up with a save on Dowd, 13:29. Thompson comes with a save on Brady Shea. At the 14:11 mark of the first period, to Mangiapane after the box, 2 minutes for tripping versus Alex Carey. Marchessault then picks up a penalty, 2 minutes for tripping. The UC Saros would have to come up with a save on Ferraberry, and then Saros would have to come up with a save on Dowd. The Predators' penalty kill after the 4-on-4 would be able to hold. But the 18:06 mark of the first period, now Luzon off the box, 2 minutes for interference. Saros coming up with a save on Ovechkin, then Saros coming with a save on LaPierre. And this is the problem with this first period. It may be tied at 1 apiece, but the Predators have taken 3 penalties and put themselves in a bit of an energy crunch here. The Washington Capitals are out shooting the Predators 18-11. UC Saros absolutely great here in this first period. 8 seconds into the second period, Saros comes up with a save on Dubois at the 1:44 mark of the second period. Thompson comes up with a save on Tomasino at the 2:40 mark. Thompson comes up with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. 3:44 now in the second period. Forsberg hits the crossbar after stealing the puck. He absolutely had the netminder Thompson beat on this one. 5:42 of the second period. Thompson comes with a save on Marchessault. And look at that. The Nashville Predators that seem to be failing to generate any offense in the first period are now generating 5 shots on goal in the first 5 minutes after only having 11 in the entire first period. 6:12 of the second period, Saros comes with a save on LaPierre. At 8:11 of the second period, Saros comes with a save on McMichael, plus the follow-up. Really good sequence here by the netminder for the Nashville Predators. 10:42 mark, Saros comes with a save on Ferraberry. At the 11:20 mark, now past the halfway point of this game, Thompson comes with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. At 14:08 of the second period, Saros comes with a save on Radich. We've got a goaltenders duel developing here in this period, but that's about to take a quick break for a minute. 15:03 of the second period, Protas picks up his 5th goal of the season. The Washington Capitals again finding themselves more time and space than they should have available in the offensive end. That puts the Caps up 2-1. But it is just 31 seconds later that Steven Stamkos at 15:34 of the second picks up his 3rd goal of the season. It was a redirect at the side of the crease, and it was a really sweet redirect. Great job there. High skill by Steven Stamkos, tying this game at 2 apiece. At the 16:10 mark of the second, LaRue hits the post, so second post of this period. At the 18:13 mark of the second period, Thompson comes with a save on Yossi, plus the follow-up by Smith. 19:22, Roy off to the box, 2 minutes for roughing on Philip Forsberg. Great job by Philip Forsberg here to draw the power play, but the referees clearly wanted to give a makeup call after this because Forsberg picks up a penalty almost immediately, 2 minutes for tripping, creating yet another 4-on-4 scenario here. So at the end of the second period, we're tied at 2 apiece, but the Washington Capitals have 32 shots on goal. 32 shots on goal. The Predators have 24. We flip over to the backside of the sheet, and we find the start of the third period. 4-on-4 action for a minute and 23 seconds to start the period. Washington then with the power play of 37 seconds. Nothing would happen over the exchange of these special teams. So we pick it back up at 4 minutes of the third period, and that's where Carey's off the box. 2 minutes for holding another penalty against this Predators team. Saros comes up with a save on Strome And yes, I truly believe it was a save. I saw the puck change direction there and go up over the crossbar. So the rebound over the crossbar, Saros credit with a save, and Saros was not the other save on Carlson, 7:51 mark of the third period. Thompson coming with a save on Philip Forsberg, 7:59. Saros a save on Dubois, but at 10:25 of the third period, it's Alex Ovechkin, that youngster out there, picking up his 8th goal of the season. Just a sick wrist shot. Again, he was able to find time, he was able to find space, and a player like Alex Ovechkin's going to be able to pick his spot. And we've seen 3 really, really big-time players for their teams come in the last couple of games and hit really big-time shots against UC Saros. And this Ovechkin wrist shot was another one of those. 3-2 now in favor of the Capitals. We go to the 12:07 mark of the first period. And it's Thompson coming with a save on Marchessault. Now, here's a weird scenario because Delgado is able to poke the puck into the net, but it is ruled on the ice to be goaltender interference. But then we have the referees get together and huddle and have a scrum. Then we have them go to the benches. And then the Predators offer a challenge on this one because the puck is clearly in the net. It does appear that Delgado was taken down by one of the players from the other team. So the Nashville Predators challenge it. It goes on for a while, but the call on the ice ends up standing. Really tough break for the Nashville Predators because not only does this not allow them to get the tying goal, but they also pick up a penalty for delay of game, 2 minutes. Alex Carey would come up with a huge shot block on Ovechkin's one-timer from the left circle during that exchange, and the Predators would be able to survive. But a really tough break for this Nashville Predators team that was fighting really hard in this third period. Still a few minutes to go, though. 15:31 of the third period. Thompson comes with a save on Shea's heavy shot. That seemed to definitely stun Thompson just a little bit. 17:25 of the third period. Parson hits the crossbar on deflection. 18:18. Saros comes with a save on Carlson. The 19:51 mark of the third period. Thompson comes with a save on Philip Forsberg at the back post. The Nashville Predators did everything they needed to do with the extra attack run, and they had the opportunity right here, but they could not get it past Thompson. Thompson's best save of the game, I think, by far. And the Nashville Predators fall to the Washington Capitals by a score of 3-2. Washington ends up out shooting Nashville 36-35, but the Nashville Predators certainly made up for a lot of that gap there in the third period. The Predators had 24 after the second period. They ended up with 35 shots on goal, so 11 shots on goal. That equals what they were able to do in the first period as well. So the Predators were picking up momentum and gaining steam and competitive level throughout the entirety of the third period. And I hope that that's the Predators team that they're able to take into their next game because they were much more competitive in the third than they were in the first and the second when UC Saros had to do all the work to keep them in it. All right, that's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got so much more coming up about this game, analysis, box score, and more, and that's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness, and that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. UC Saros 33 out of 36 in this game. 3 goals against, and you know what? He kept the Preds in it, and they gave them a chance to win it, but the Nashville Predators unable to respond. The Capitals 18 shots on goal in the first period. That's an insane number. Bumped that all the way up to 32 by the end of the second period. So the Nashville Predators giving up way too many shots against, and UC Saros doing a tremendous job of trying to keep his team in it. You leave players alone in front, you give them too much time and space, and yes, players like Alex Ovechkin are going to take advantage of whatever netminder it is. But I thought UC Saros not the issue in this game. Parson had picked up a goal, his first of the season, also delivered 3 hits using that big frame. 16:58 in total time on ice, and great to see Parson out there getting featured, getting the proper ice time that he needs. I understand saying it's because of a bit of an injury situation that occurred at the beginning of the day here. But Parsonen picks up his first goal. Great redirect, and great to see him in the lineup and part of that youth line out there that we were, frankly, enjoying so much a season ago. And now that a bunch of proven winners are out there, it's not quite as enjoyable, is it? Stamkos is one of those proven winners, and he does have a goal right here. 2 shots on goal. His first even strength goal with the Nashville Predators. A great job right there. Gets to the dangerous area outside the crease, chips the puck, and redirects it into the net. That's a great job by Steven Stamkos, picking up his 3rd goal as a Nashville Predator. Luke Evangelista picks up an assist, and you know what? It was the last-minute start for Luke Evangelista getting into this game that led to this situation. Tommy Novak goes out after warm-ups injured, so 13:57 in total time on ice for Luke Evangelista in this game. And again, great to see him out there on the rink just playing and getting after it. Again, really good game for Evangelista. O'Reilly, we talked about, he had the worst game of his career. At least that was his quote before this game. Going into this game, we knew there'd be a bounce back. O'Reilly picks up an assist, 3 shots on goal, 20-25 total time on ice. Good response game is what I call that. And he was definitely going to the hard areas, going to the physical areas, and doing the things Ryan O'Reilly does, trying to help his team win. Phil Tomasino gets back in the lineup after being out healthy scratch for quite some time. Picks up an assist, part of that youth line in this game. 12:49 in total time on ice for Tomasino. So again, great to see Parson and Tomasino Evangelista out there. Very enjoyable to watch the young players getting that ice time and trying to succeed. Of course, with Colton Sissons coming out of the lineup early in this game, it meant that the Nashville Predators centers had to double shift and do a lot of extra work, so the lines were a bit of a jumble. Tommy Novak leaving after warm-ups and not being able to play certainly also did not help the center situation as far as manpower, as far as energy, and the first night of back-to-backs. That's a really, really tough circumstance. But you know what, at the end of this game, and we'll talk about this more when we close it out, the Nashville Predators did play a significantly better game than they played against the LA Kings the other night on home ice. They were highly competitive. Their goaltender kept them in it, and they were able to generate a couple of goals. And they got a tough break on that goaltender interference call that disallowed what would have been the tying goal in the third period. But the Preds, more physical, and I'll talk about the ways they were more physical here when we get to the close. But let's hear from our friends at Stripe Digital Solutions. Let's come back. Let's hear from the box score, the good cold hard numbers known as the box score, and then let's talk about that more aggressive nature that the Predators had in Washington. It intrigued me, and I liked the results that they were getting from it, and I definitely think they should expand upon it. We'll get into the box score, and then we'll get to that point, and we'll flesh it out a little bit more coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Box score time. Good cold hard numbers. Parsonen picks up his first goal of the season. Steven Stamkos also picks up a goal for the Nashville Predators. When it comes to the assists for the Preds, Luke Evangelista has one, Ryan O'Reilly has one, Tomasino has one, and Alex Carrier also has one of those. When it comes to the shots on goal, 4 was the highest for the Predators. Captain Romeo had 4. Brady Shea also had 4. O'Reilly had 3. Marchessault, LaRue, and Forsberg also with 3 shots on goal in this game. When it comes to block shots, Romeo and Luzon had 3. Also add Philip Forsberg to 3 block shots. Now, that's rare for Philip Forsberg. Typically, Philip Forsberg is not blocking a lot of shots out there. This game was more physical than the previous game, that is for sure, as far as the hits are concerned. Jeremy Lauzon led the way with 7 total hits. Also, Cole Smith added 4 to that. Philip Forsberg added 4 to that. McCarron with 3. Parsonen with 3. Del Gaizo with 3. And Luke Shen also adding 3 hits to add to the 34 total that the Nashville Predators had in this game. When it comes to time on ice leaders, this got thrown off early on with the Colton Sissons injury, so the Predators already one man down in this game, and also the first night of back-to-back, so trying to balance out the lines and balance out the time on ice. It looks a little bit odd, but here are your time on ice leaders. O'Reilly at 20-25, totally normal right there. But Parsonen, 16:58 in total time on ice, and McCarron, 16:59 total time on ice. Colton Sissons only skated 5 minutes and 5 seconds before leaving the game injured. The captain, Roman Josi, led the team in total time on ice at 25:14, and that is not unusual at all. 23:16 for Brady Shea. All the other defensemen under 20 minutes. So overall, a reasonably good job of keeping ice time limited for the second night of the back-to-backs in Florida against the Panthers. Tough night, though, to lose one of your most reliable centers early in the game to injury and also have another player go out in warm-ups. That definitely does not help the coaching staff and the game plan. Power play for the Predators was 0 for 2 in this game. Your power play time on ice leaders were Jonathan Marchessault at 109, Ryan O'Reilly at 109, and the captain, Roman Josi, at 109. Now, let's slow down and talk about the penalty kill unit, though. The penalty kill unit for this Nashville Predators now rated first in the NHL. Again, 93.2% kill rate, was 6 out of 6. Now, great job by the penalty kill unit, but that's a problem for the Nashville Predators taking so many penalties. But let's get back to focusing and giving the positive and the stick taps to the penalty kill unit. Again, 6 out of 6 your penalty kill time on ice leaders. Michael McCarron at 431, 337 for Nyquist, 334 for Cole Smith, 330 for Juuso Parsonen. Now, let's talk about the defensemen on the penalty kill. Brady Shea, 446, and then 352 for Alex Carey, 314 for Roman Josi, 3 minutes for Lauzon. Now, the Nashville Predators ended up losing this game by 1 goal. Their goaltender was outstanding. Their penalty kill unit was perfect, but for the Nashville Predators, these penalties, the number of minutes that the team had to put up out there, the amount of energy that they had to use to kill off all of these penalties, well, I mean, that's one of the main reasons the Predators fail to succeed in this game of picking up 2 points. So, what else in the box? So, UC Saros, your netminder, 33 out of 36, 3 goals against, a 917 in-game save percentage, 28 even strike saves, 4 power play saves, 1 short-handed saves. And again, thought he played pretty good. Some other numbers falling out of the box score. Again, just to rehash, power play 0 for 2, penalty kill 6 for 6, face-off winning percentage back up over 50, which is trending in the right direction at 52.4%. 34 hits is a nice big number. 20 block shots is also a nice big number to see the way that they're spread out around the lineup, including Philip Forsberg being one of the team leaders in block shots. That's impressive right there. 7 takeaways, 12 giveaways. That's a little bit better than it has been recently as far as the balance on that metric. Let's close this thing out by saying what you saw from the Nashville Predators last night against the Washington Capitals, and it's encapsulated perfectly in the Philip Forsberg goes to the net, follows his shot, puts a little shoulder into one of the Caps players. 4 of the Washington Capitals players react. The Predators earn a power play. That sequence right there, that's the thing that's been totally missing from this Predators team. And I'm sure as you were watching the game unfold last night, the Predators finally initiating some physical contact, initiating some scrums around the net after the whistle, jamming away at the pucks until someone comes and clears them out. They need to get a little more Patrick Hornquist back in them is what they need. And last night we saw Philip Forsberg earn the Preds a power play. We saw the Preds go to the net hard with Del Gaizo, and honestly, I still think that should have been a goal, and I don't think the goaltender interference should have been ruled to be that way since Del Gaizo was hit from behind and pushed over the top of the netminder. But again, that situation was created because the Predators went to the net hard and were jamming away. Several times in that game, the Predators were initiating contact, going to the net, and being physical and being difficult to play against. They need to be more difficult to play against. That's part of competing. That's part of the NHL. That's part of hockey in general. You need that aggression. You need that jam. You need to be battling and competing and feeling like you're in it out there. And the Nashville Predators were starting to turn that corner, I think, and get to that point last night. The Phil Forsberg is just the easiest example to give, and the Del Gaizo is a really easy one to talk about. But there were other examples. We saw LaRue in the previous game against the LA Kings when not much was going on. LaRue at least went into the crease and tried to push someone. Sometimes that's what can get a team going. I think the Predators might be starting to see the formula that works. They're not implementing it yet, but I'm not giving up on this team yet. I don't believe in the proven winners to blowing the team up in 13 games. I think, and honestly, as someone who knows the business and who's been around a long time in the entertainment industry, I think Barry Trotz is running a gimmick on his team right now. I think that Barry Trotz used "I have a plan to rebuild" and just said a bunch of things about contracts and trades just because those are the buzzwords that catch the players' attention. And right now, Barry Trotz, coaching staff, everybody trying to catch the players' attention because they're frustrated and their motivations seem to be going in the negative direction. So I think Barry Trotz is running a gimmick on the Predators. I don't believe there's a plan to blow it up and start trading everybody, but a failure of a CMA road trip coming up could change all of that. But at this exact moment, you don't go from we signed a bunch of proven winners and we're going for it and we're all in to 12 games later going, well, I guess we'll have a plan to trade everybody. That would be indicative of a GM that's very bad at his job. And honestly, I would hate to say a thing like this, but if Barry Trotz spent all of that money and has to blow it up after 12 games, 13 games, 15 games, well, then Barry Trotz should be relieved of his duties as the general manager of a professional NHL franchise instantly. That would be of critical malpractice for a general manager. If you spent all that money and talked all that shit about proven winners and about how you were going all in and then come out and lay a total egg and blow it up and just go back to what the plan was a year ago, I don't think anybody could accept or tolerate that. Honestly, it shouldn't even be a situation where the GM would have to be pushed out and relieved of his duties. He should relieve himself of those duties if 13 games after signing Jonathan Marchessault, Steven Stamkos, Brady Shea is not enough to keep it going at least for half of a season. Jesus. All right. I just wanted to point that out. It's weird. You know it's weird, right? You see that? The general manager is going to just admit total failure after 12 games and start trading away and starting a plan for a rebuild? No, it's a gimmick. It's trying to get the players' attention. It's trying to get everybody who's not engaged, who's not paying attention to suddenly go, what did he say? Trades? You know how that motivates players. And I don't think Barry Trotz is trying right now to use the carrot approach to motivate these players anymore. I think Barry Trotz has moved on to the stick and the threat of potential trades and rebuilds. But right now, I 100% believe it's a gimmick. So much so that I have people asking me from other markets that very thing. And yes, it appears to me that it's 100% a gimmick at this moment in time. That's going to do it. All right, that's going to do it. I made the point. Preds need to be more aggressive, and the general manager needs to stop running gimmicks on the team. Get their attention the way you need to get their attention, but the Predators got to start winning as well. So more aggressive, more jam, more like they were in parts of the game against the Washington Capitals. It was there. It's getting there. It's coming. That's Chris Mason quote. It's coming. Promise. That's going to do it for episode number 924. Let me let you guys get on with your day. It's the second day of back-to-back, so everybody's got a lot to get done before the game tonight on Thursday night in Florida. I appreciate your time, appreciate your viewership. Most importantly, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.